really want to manifest in my life? Ernest also talks about a man who owned a shop, and he would pray very earnestly every morning and evening for the success of his business. But during the day, he would go into his business and he would look out the window and see all the people walking by. And he would get so obsessed with all the people not coming into his shop that he didn't really pay much attention to the people who did come into his shop. So by focusing on what he didn't want, he was actually sabotaging his own good intention. Because he was praying in the morning and praying in the evening, and during the day, he was focusing on what he didn't want. So we can all go there so easily to think about what we don't want rather than what we do want. So this creative medium doesn't care if it's the good thing or the bad thing, or what we call good and bad. You know, we're making that up. We're making that story up. So it doesn't care about what it is. It just says, okay, I'll create it. Yeah, you've got it. I'm willing. I'm just creating. I have no agenda. I have no will of my own, essentially. The soul, the womb, the creative medium does not have its own volition. It just creates whatever has been put into it. Whatever has been put into it. And so that's so important to us to think about what we're thinking about. That's the whole teaching. Think about what you're thinking about. And think about what you want. Think about what your intention is. Think about what you're wanting to experience. In the last couple of months, we read that Trance of Scarcity. And in that, there was an invitation to celebrate the circle of abundance and to feel how that feels. To feel relaxed, to feel that you're in a meaningful relationship, to feel that you're supported, to feel that life is abundant. And just feel how it feels in our body. So that when we find ourselves not feeling that way, we can realize that we have jumped out of the circle of abundance and we're back in the trance of scarcity. And we can tell by tuning into our own bodies. Because the bodies will tell us where we are. Are we in the circle of abundance, or are we in the trance of scarcity? When we're in the circle of abundance, we're inviting the good to come through us. For we are an inlet and an outlet. An inlet and an outlet for the activity of the divine. We are here to be an inlet and an outlet for that activity of the divine. That's all we're here for. And we're all here to express it uniquely. Holmes also talks about you have a field, 250 acres, and you give 50 acres to this person, 50 acres to that person, 50 acres to this person, and they all plant crops. They all plant different crops. And you say, okay, well now we have individualized crops coming up. So we have unique, individualized things coming up. Except that the soil that brought them forth is the same. The soil that brought them forth is the same, and that is the soul. That is the earth. The earth doesn't care what you plant in it. It just brings it to life. It just brings it to life. So we all think that we're doing unique stuff, but we're all doing it from the same creative medium, that the same creative process is ongoing. So here we are, the soul. The soul, the soul, the soul. It is our soul, but it is really our individualized use of the universal soul. Just like each of those 50 acres was an individual use of a huge acreage. So we're all making use of this acreage. And the question is, what seeds are we planting? Are we planting seeds of hope, generosity, divine productivity, intention, creativity, art, music, beauty? What is it that we are planting? Or are we planting seeds of fear, seeds of limitation, self-doubt, lack? If we are, don't get on your case. This is not good. Resistance is just amplifying the energy of what you don't want. As they always say, what you resist persists. So if we find ourselves in that negative thought place, just say, oh, there I am, little bunny. I don't have, little pumpkin. Oh, we have to mother ourselves. We're going to say, oh, poor baby, you don't have to think that way. You can think another way. Remember, you have that other thought that you want to concentrate on. So we could do that. We could say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We can, mother ourselves. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid. There is something here that loves you more than you know. There is something here that cares for you more than you know, and is ready and willing, just like your mom, to give you whatever it is that it takes for you to thrive. Okay, so this is the idea of this. Now, I wanted to tell you that I told you about my Catholic girlhood, and I've talked about when you went to confession, you always got a bunch of prayers, and one of the prayers was the Our Father. It's also known as the Lord's Prayer. Now, of course, that prayer came from something that was translated from Greek to Latin to English. And it actually was spoken by the Master Teacher Jesus in Aramaic. And Aramaic is one of those languages where the meaning of the word isn't exactly something you can take from the written word. It's something that comes from the way it's pronounced. Sort of like in Hawaiian, aloha could mean hello, goodbye, I love you, all those things. Well, by the same token, Aramaic can mean the same thing. And so on behalf of Mother's Day, I want to read you an Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Let your counsel rule our lives, clearing our intention for co-creation. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with your desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but free us from what holds us back. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth power and fulfillment. As all is gathered and made whole once again, I seal this prayer in trust and faith. And so it is.
So it is.